Hey, and welcome. Today, we're going to be architects, but we're not building with, bricks and mortar. We're building with something way more delicate and honestly, way more important, trust. And we're about to find out why some people build these incredible social lives that are secretly designed to keep everyone out.
I mean, you totally know who I'm talking about, right? They are magnetic, they're funny, they connect with everyone so easily. But then, when you try to get just a little bit closer, boom, you hit this invisible wall. You can't even explain it, but you just know the connection can only go so deep.
On the outside, they are just masters of relationships. They remember your name, they ask amazing questions, they make everyone feel like they're the only person in the room. They are, for all intents and purposes, the person everybody wants to be around.
And yet, there's always that line, that unspoken boundary that just says, yep, this far and no further. It's such a weird paradox, isn't it? They're constantly surrounded by people, but it feels like they're operating from this fortress of one.
And this is where you can really see that conflict laid bare. Outwardly, yeah, they're great at relationships, super charming, connects with anyone. But inwardly, that's where you find that secret ceiling on intimacy. They're emotionally guarded, and when you get right down to it, they probably only trust themselves. It's like they're living in two different worlds at the same time.
So why? Why does this happen? This isn't just some personality quirk, There is actual science behind this kind of emotional architecture. So let's get into it. Let's unpack the why behind that wall.
Okay, a huge piece of this puzzle is something called betrayal trauma. It was first identified by the psychologist Jennifer Freyd. Now, this isn't just getting your feelings hurt. This is a deep psychological wound that happens when someone you absolutely depended on for your survival, like a parent or a partner, completely violates your trust. An experience like that, it literally rewires how you see the entire world.
And here's what happens next. The brain, in this incredible effort to protect you from ever feeling that kind of pain again, creates this sort of blueprint, a betrayal template. It basically sets your default mode to mistrust. It's a survival instinct, really, that says, hey, if I don't let anyone get too close, I can never be hurt like that again.
This connects perfectly with an idea from psychologist John Bowlby, who called them working models. Just think of these as the brain's internal rulebook for every relationship you have. Based on our very first experiences with people, we build this whole set of assumptions about how others are going to behave and how we're supposed to act around them.
And here is the absolute kicker. If that rulebook was written by betrayal trauma, then that one single powerful template can start to run the show for every new relationship you have. It doesn't matter how kind or trustworthy a new person might be. The brain is going to filter them through that old protective lens of mistrust.
But, and this is a really big but, here is the good news. That blueprint, it is not permanent. It can be changed. It can be totally rewritten. So how do you actually do that? How do you build a whole new foundation for trust?
I think the key here is to just reframe the entire problem. We often think of trusting someone as this massive, terrifying leap of faith, right? Like jumping across a giant canyon. But it's not. It's construction. It's a slow, methodical process of building a bridge, one piece at a time. And that brings us to the core solution here. Earned security. This has nothing to do with blind faith. It's all about building trust from the ground up by proving you're reliable. And you do that through small, consistent, and repeated actions. The key words there are slow, small, and consistent.
So here's how this looks in the real world. It starts with something tiny. Step 1, a small promise is made, something simple, like I'll call you at 3. Step 2, the promise is kept. The call actually comes at 3. Step 3, the brain takes a little note of that. Okay, they did what they said they would do. And then the most important part of all, step 4, repeat. Again and again and again.
This chart just shows it so perfectly. You see that first bar, one kept promise? It barely moves the needle. But as all those small, reliable actions start to stack up, that trust bar starts to grow. What you're doing is giving the brain new evidence, new data points that start to challenge that old betrayal template. And over time, that consistent reliability builds a really strong foundation of high trust.
So let's just quickly recap the big ideas here. That secret ceiling a lot of us feel in relationships, it often comes from past trauma. To protect itself, the brain builds a betrayal template. So the way forward isn't to just give trust away freely, it has to be earned. And it's those small, reliable actions, repeated over and over, that truly have the power to rewrite that old blueprint.
And that really is the heart of it all. Trust doesn't have to be a fortress that you're trapped inside.
It can be a home that you build. You can literally design a whole new architecture for your relationships, one small, reliable, trust-building brick at a time. And that is such an empowering and hopeful way to think about connecting with people. So, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Whether you're trying to build trust with someone else, or maybe just learning to trust again yourself, what's the first, small, reliable brick that you can lay today?